If we are waiting for the instrument to be approved, then it looks like we may not necessarily hit the day because you have so many staff. The application process to employ takes a reasonable time to acquire a staff into a job. And we running out of time?
Thank you, Honorable Ron. Chair, Transition Committee, you can give a response.
Chair, honorable members, my name is Cap Kirwok Jason, Chair of the Transition Committee. I'd like to respond as follows. First of all, what the PS has provided, I'm simply providing details under that. In terms of the HR transition, honorable members, the sequence of events are the following. First of all, you seek the categorization of the new body that has been established with your social health authority. And you seek that categorization from SCAC, the State Advisory Committee, State Corporations Advisory Committee, or SCAC. So you seek categorization. And I just want you to appreciate also the bureaucratic delays that happen. So once that categorization was received, it was like about a month after requesting, then you develop the HR instruments now suitable for that category.
So you receive categorization. What is the category now?
The category is that it's now categorized as a financial institution, financial state corporation, PC 8A specifically. So we requested and received state categorization, but it took about 1 month to receive that. After that, then we developed the HR instruments, what they call HR instruments. Basically, the organizational structure and the different positions, the level of positions, all of those things. Quite a heavy piece of work, I think more than 100 pages. Those are the HR instruments, because without the HR instruments, you cannot even begin to recruit. So once you finish the HR instruments, then you submit those HR instruments again through the bodies that we report to. One thing that we didn't mention when we talked about the terms of reference with the Transition Committee is that we report to the ministry and the two chairs, the chair of the Social Health Authority and the chair of NHI. Those are the parties to which we report every work that we do. And so the HR instruments were completed in April, and they were submitted. Now, it goes through a long process before finally we can say, now, these are agreed. Then what happens next? You request SCAC to approve those HR instruments. Initially, there was an issue about whether it's SCAC or Public Service Commission, but it was eventually submitted to SCAC to then approve the HR instruments. Remember, before they are approved, you cannot begin any process. You cannot do any recruitment because those positions have to be approved. And so, as we speak, the HR instruments were submitted by the ministry to SCAC. SCAC, there is a tricky issue here because the board of SCAC, their term is coming to an end next month. And so the CEO of SCAC was rushing to sort of schedule a meeting of the board of SCAC to give approval. The last information I had is that it was supposed to happen this week. I hope it does, so that eventually the HR instruments are cleared. Once the HR instruments are now cleared, the next process would be for the Social Health Authority board, guided by the ministry, to begin the process of recruitment. And our recommendation as a TC is that start at the top. From the top, CEO, the top directors, and so on, and keep coming down this way. But you're right that we are likely to run out of time because of the delays that we have suffered to date. Now, let me move quickly, Chair, to the assets and liabilities verification exercise. Now, that one again We consulted and found that the government body that was competent in working with us, we're a team of 10 officials, 10 professionals. We have benefited from expert input from about 68 experts from across government, because we are empowered to co-opt resource persons. But in this particular exercise of asset and liability verification, the competent authority was the Treasury, the National Treasury. So we sought permission to be given top officials, staff, officers of the National Treasury, to constitute the asset and liabilities verification team. It took 2 months to get those officers cleared because they were all very busy because of the budget and all sorts of things. But eventually, we got officers. We got 25 officers from the ministry, from the National Treasury. We got some from the Ministry of Information and ICT, from ICTA, from Housing, and the government agency that is responsible for valuing land, valuation of land, because they have some. So that exercise was completed, involved a lot of logistics, from Loitoktok to Wajir to whatever across the country. We delivered. That report was finally given to us last Friday by the National Treasury. And so we are now incorporating it in our final transition committee report, which is very comprehensive. The report from the National Treasury team alone is 120 pages. And so we will put together our comprehensive report and submit it to the 3 parties, the ministry, the share board, and the NHI board on the 8th of August. We will burn the midnight oil, make sure that report is polished, ready to be submitted. And so, Honorable Chair, it's a comprehensive report. What the PS has highlighted would be sufficient for your purposes, because it's a very big, detailed report. And I'd like to formally submit that before it is shared with the public, because it will go to the 3 parties, that they receive it, and then maybe they have comments, we incorporate their comments, and then finally you will have the final report. Thank you. Submit.
Yes, I'll take order.
Chair, just a follow-up on HR. If I got you correctly, Chair,
Yes.
we do not have an organizational structure for SHA as we speak. Has not been approved.
It has not been approved by SCAC.
The SCAC is to meet this week.
Yeah, but as we speak today, it doesn't exist.
It doesn't exist.
That's one. 2,
Yeah.
I wanted to find out, in terms of staff of SHA, who is it that is employed by SHA at the moment? Do we have people in active capacity or expressly employed by SHA? If they are in active capacity, what is stopping SHA from recruiting the higher level staff so that we don't have people acting if we are going to take this organization to the next level?
I think that will be responded by the Chair SHA. Chair SHA, you will take that, then you'll be able to respond. Yes, Honorable Kibageni.
Thank you, Chair. I think first things first, the Transition Authority must first seek extension of their mandate. That should be the first thing, because now they are operating outside what needs to happen. Secondly, Chair, while I appreciate the excellent description of the system by our esteemed PS, I have a problem. We had asked some time back for details on the procurement and other details around these systems.
We will not go to the system. Let's just finish this, and then we go to the system.
Okay.
Just hold your horse.
Okay.
Dr. Nyeka, just hold your horse. We'll go to the system, then we'll ask.
I don't know whether this is for you. You know, when I've had all that, I just ask myself, who is managing the staff who are there now? What is their status?
Chair and Shah.
Thank you very much for this question.
And also give assurance about the transparency when it comes to recruitment and transition into Shah.
Thank you very much. In terms of confirmation as to what, whether we have substantive staff at SHA at the moment, other than the board, which is substantive at the moment, the rest of the people are in an acting capacity. One was forwarded, seconded from the ministry, that's the corporation secretary, and then those who are going to be key in terms of the transition, the directors, we have both the CEO and the director ICT, director of finance, and the director of provider and beneficiary management. Those are the ones who are seconded at the moment. However, the NHIF infrastructure in terms of the management and the staff is still in place, and that's how we have been able to continue with our operations seamlessly. Please note that in the absence of those HR instruments being approved, we cannot be able to recruit substantively, so that has to be at the time when that is given, we are given the authority to do so.
So, Chair, when you say our operations, who is our NHIF or SHA?
It is SHA at the moment because, as you know, that the law transferred all assets and all liabilities and all rights and all operations are under the operation of SHA. So these are being done by the NHIF infrastructure in the interim, but at the moment, at the point when the HR instruments are approved and we could recruit substantively, those functions will be effectively transferred. And it was done in that manner so that seamless operation continues without disruption.
So should something go wrong, who holds responsibility?
It is the SHA board.
You know the challenge, Chair, is, for example, if you have the CEO who is acting for SHA, at the same time is NHIF, at what stage is he NHIF and at what stage is he SHA?
As you're aware, the NHIF board doesn't have any operational functions that they're performing at the moment. Their only mandate at the moment during the transition period is winding up activities, and therefore everything to do with operations is under the SHA board.
So meaning even the staff who are the regional officers are SHA?
Are SHA, they are directly responsible, SHA is directly responsible for them.
Yeah, yes.
Maybe I can just add a clarification, because the questions the honorable members are asking are questions that we wrestled with also as a transition committee. Because remember, we have NHIF here, we have SHA, and we are in the middle. We are supposed to verify the assets and liabilities before they are transferred to SHA. Now, as my colleague Dr. Lueng has just said, the act that you passed in Parliament said from November 23rd, all assets and liabilities from this particular moment transfer to Social Health Authority. And so staff also are part of the assets of the organization, employees. So what we did as a committee was we said, you have custody of all these assets, liabilities, you, Social Health Authority, you have custody. NHIF's role was limited to simply winding up activities, and they got that interpretation also from the AG's chambers and AG's office, that your role is simply facilitating the winding down. So the substantive role is with Social Health Authority, but not, so they were having staff in, I don't know what the legal term is, but they were in those positions waiting a proper legal process to confirm their positions. And they could not be confirmed in those positions until we have a new organizational structure, which is totally a different organization now because it's mostly digitally enabled, and then approve that structure and then now recruit and then give them substantive positions. But all NHIF staff right now belong to Social Health Authority across the country.
And Chair, you actually have staff except you are operating in the old structure. Yes, so you have staff, you are operating in the old structure. And that structure is not NHIF anymore. It is now a SHA structure, even if inherited. So you should now just proceed with operations. And what we are doing will now be actually transferring within yourself. That's shifting within yourself.
Chair, or PS?
I totally agree with the honorable member. But as a new organization, it must have its own HR instruments. So that's the reason why we've developed the new HR instruments. So that when you onboard the staff, depending on the staff establishment and the category of that staff, noting that now this is a totally different organization that has been categorized differently. Therefore, it requires for onboarding those staff based on the HR instruments. It's a normal process. Even any other old organization can still submit, can request for approval of a new structure of the staff establishment based on the needs that they are facing currently. So this is not, it's not something special. What we're doing is we are basically at the transition stage, coming up with a new structure which will help now Social Health Authority on board the current staff of NHIF based on the criteria that I've set out. The criteria is now all those staff that are in NHIF will apply for those positions because they'll be called different. Maybe claims management, claims and benefit officer will be called a different name as per the new establishment. So those are the ones that will now be advertised. And the staff from NHIF, who are now the staff of Social Health Authority, become given the right of the ones to apply first. So basically, we are saying that it's only the instruments that is required. Otherwise, the staff, that the way it is now, will look at the new establishment based on the approved establishment and apply accordingly.
So, Chair, the word NHIF and all the word NHIF should just cease to exist. These are SHA staff.
It is ceasing to exist on the 22nd of November.
It just ceases to exist.
Yes, legal.
It just ceases to exist.
Yes.
These staff are your staff. All you are doing is restructuring.
Call it that way.
Honorable Cynthia, then Honorable Martin.
Thank you, Chair. I think I am a little bit more confused than I was previously because the Chair transition said the purpose and the reason why we still have the NHIF personnel and whatnot is for purposes of winding up activities. But now the agreement by the PS in regards to the comment made by Dr. Nikal confirms that it's not winding up, it's continuing. Which one is the correct position, Honorable Chair? The position of the transition chair or the position of the PS agreeing with the suggestion or comment by Dr. Nikal? Because honestly, that's the only thing that makes sense.
Are you asking me or you are asking the PS?
Through you, Chair. Through the Chair.
Okay, to the PS. Honorable Martin.
Chair, my problem is how the PS, how this translate to the services on the ground. I hear the Chair of SHA saying it's seamless. It's not seamless. Secondly, the legality. It's like a new wine in an old skin. You have a new establishment. You have a new, old staff. How do you transit them, especially the accountability, claims, reimbursements? How do you transit them and hold them accountable should anything go wrong? If they're not officially recognized by the SHA,
Yes,
because they are NIF employees, and that even if that dies legally, but they are still doing the function, how will that now work?
Honorable Songole.
So, Chairman, we're just pressing the same issue. Because I just want clarity. If I were a worker, an employee of the NHIF today, and come the September date, what do I consider myself to be?
November date.
The November date?
November, yes.
November date. What will I consider myself to be? Is it a former employee of NHIF, or a current employee of SHA, or somebody waiting to be sacked or to be taken on board? What is the exact position for those people who are working for NHIF now?
PS.
Chair, let the chair of the SHA take over, and then I will also clarify on the issues raised by the
Honorable Chair, honorable members, I do agree that the position we find ourselves is complex, and it is complex out of necessity purely because of the critical nature of the functions that NHIF performed that are being transferred to SHA. It was not possible for us to switch off and switch on, and we needed a transition period. That's the what advised the aspect of having the transition committee. So with everything else, much as all the assets and liabilities and so on were transferred, in terms of operations, because of the process of requiring to onboard new employees, it became necessary that we have this transitional period. So I do admit it is complex, but I think it is necessary in as far as we cannot afford to disrupt the operations. But maybe also the Corporation Secretary will get a chance to comment, because a lot of the issues here are of legal nature.
Terry, you can make your comments using the seat. Please have their comments.
Thank you, Chair. Indeed, the Transition Committee, the SHA Board, and NHIF were all given the opinion from the Honorable Attorney General. And it was with regards to what happens now that this law has come into place. One of the issues that were raised was the staff of NHIF. So, sorry, thank you. So in terms of the staff of NHIF, the AG had guided that all rights, obligations, and powers and duties that were being performed under the NHIF, which includes now the obligations to that are attendant to the NHIF staff, were vested with the SHA Board. So that has been transferred to the SHA Board. Unfortunately, or what Chair is saying is that we are now in a very precarious situation in terms of the law, again, did not transition all the staff from NHIF to SHA. So the transitional provisions provides that the staff of the NHIF, the staff of SHA shall recruit its own staff, but shall give priority to the staff of NHIF in its recruitment once it gets the approved staff establishment. And the staff of the NHIF, if they are not recruited, will retire from the public service or be redeployed within the public service. So that is the issue that, the legal issue that is there, is that while the obligations have been vested with the SHA Board, and obligations include paying the staff, disciplinary issues within the staff have been vested with the SHA Board. The staff need to reapply to the positions under the SHA establishment, and that is why I think we are insisting that until the HR instruments have been approved, the SHA structure is very clear. Then now the staff of the fund will be given priority to apply under SHA.
Let me just ask a simple question.
Just
Are you transitioning or restructuring? And this committee, is it really a transitions committee or a restructuring committee?
The committee legally is a transition committee.
And
That is how it was considered.
and functional.
Let me just add to what the State Councillor said, and what responding to the questions from Honorable Cynthia, is that the law gave the functions to the SHA Board to manage the NHIF structure as it is, remaining with its own structure without touching it. Human resource, for example, we still use the NHIF human resource instruments. SHA, once their staff, HR instruments have been approved, will then now transition those staff and manage them under the human resource instruments that have been approved for SHA. So it's, as I said, it's just a very, we are waiting for the approvals and then the commencement of the onboarding of the NHIF staff to Social Health Authority staff. Without the HR instruments, then they can't onboard. What remains is they will still maintain their staff of NHIF using the human resource establishment or structures that were approved for NHIF.
You know, in a layman's, without going into very much legal, SHA is using the staff of NHIF to run its activities. Yeah, I think that is the in a simpler way than. But now, once you have your instruments, then you will now recruit the staff for SHA. I think so that we make progress. I want us to move into the ICT issue. What do you want?
Chair, given what has been said by the chair of the transition committee, the legal, and even the responses from the chair and the PS, I want to ask a honest question. Do we believe that we will be able to meet all this by 1st of October? Or it's high time we start this discussion early, have an extension, and have a realistic date for launching SHA?
Okay.
My response to the honorable member is yes. Once the HR instruments are approved, as you have highlighted, we are ready. We have put all mechanisms in place to meet the 31st deadline of October.
Honorable Cynthia.
Yeah, so, PS, are you in essence telling us that you are able to pull up the 464,000 already onboarded or registered members to SHA to the expected number that NHIF is now handling? Because if we are looking at that date to be able to operationalize SHA and say that every time you go to the hospital, you're going to receive your services through SHA and no longer NHIF, are you telling us you're able to pull that?
Yes.
Yes, we'll be able to pull that. Number one, most of the NHIF staff currently are the ones who are salaried, they're in the formal sector. And we have given notice to the employers that come the 31st of October. All the services rendered under NHIF and members' contribution will now be based on 2.75%, which then will go to SHA. And they will be entitled to the SHA tariffs and benefits and not the NHIF package of benefits. So that is the difference.
Let's go to the ICT, which Honorable Kipagende, I think, is banning. And in it, we had asked to that status of the ICT system upgrade with regard to the protection of users and service providers data during the transition. And if there is progress made, provide the tender process, award details, including contracts signed with the service providers, if any, for managing universal health care. Honorable Kipagende, you can chip in.
Thank you, Chair. I believe the question I wanted to ask, you have literally asked it for me, but I wanted to say the description is impressive, but we need to understand the details. And beyond that, because, Chairman, I'm stepping out, I feel like the urgency with which we passed these laws, and again, the urgency with which we want to have them implemented, we will not meet any of these targets. I believe it is necessary that, and I pray that while the President is reorganizing government, the PSS in the Ministry of Health remain, so that we don't have to go back and forth. On a PS, it is prudent that you ask for 1 year. 1 year for you to organize this thing, for it to be firm. These targets we are giving ourselves 3 months, 2 months, we are not going to succeed. We will not succeed. Thank you.
Yes, PS, you can give a response.
Thank you, Honorable Kipagende. Indeed, we intended to implement the laws the way we had processed, and we want to thank the committee because you supported us in passing these laws. However, as mentioned, we have faced challenges. One of the biggest challenges are court cases that we faced. The High Court suspended these laws immediately they were passed, and therefore we had to wait for a period of time until when we our appeal went through, and the suspension was lifted. And was lifted, I think, in the month of, was it January? And then finally now, the court gave a ruling on that on the month of July. So you can see the delay that has been caused, not out of the making of the ministry or the SHA, but because of the court cases. However, as enumerated, based on our plans that we put in place, we are ready to roll out this because it's only dependent on a few. Number one, approval of the benefit and tariffs package, which has been approved. Number two, completion of the system, procurement of the system, which is now at advanced stage. And as you're aware, we are currently running a structure which is already existing. The NHIF staff who are there, who will be part of the social health authority staff. So our transition is going to be smooth in the sense that we are not going to move out of the ecosystem that we already have. And that's why we are confident that this time round, without challenges of the courts, we'll be able to transition the staff, and we'll be based on the HR instruments, and once the system is put in place, we'll be able now to start receiving the payments under the social health authority, that is 2.75% as opposed to the previous. So it's basically configuring the systems, changing the new system so that it's able to accept payments and also pay or the claims based on the new tariffs or new packages that we have. Chair, we are confident that this is possible if we do not have any other issue that will stop us from the 31st of October. As I mentioned, everything has been put in place, which have been implemented to in my report to this committee. I submit, Chair.
Sorry, Chair.
Yes, Honorable Gibageni.
You know, this system you are talking about, I said it is shrouded in secrecy. You are saying you are at an advanced stage of procuring it, and it's already working. How are you registering members? Where are the adverts for the tender? What is the cost of this system? These are the questions we've been asking. And I'm sorry, Bwana PS, you continually are ambiguous around this particular matter. Kindly be clear. When was the advert done? Who has been given this tender? What is the cost of this? You're saying you're in the process of procuring. How are we registering members already in a system that is under procurement process?
Maybe I could needed to clarify. The SHA registration, if you look at it, it is the SHA portal. So we are using the current systems of SHA to register members.
Current systems of NHIF or SHA?
The SHA. We created a new portal under SHA. It's not different from NHIF portal.
Okay.
It is the SHA portal.
But whose software?
That's a software that currently that's operated by SHA.
That's what we're asking. How is it procured? Or are you using the portal?
The new, it's just a portal of this. I may give the CEO to respond on the creation of the portal, how the portal was created.
We have an ICT director whom we requested to come. Can you take the seat here and respond to that? Acting ICT director.
Is the director MOH ICT? Because
director MOH ICT.
Yes.
Okay. Do we have a director from SHA? ICT? Yes, we want you, not him. You introduce yourself and then give the response.
members.
Put your mic on.
Honorable members, and Chair, my name is Martin Ayo. I'm the Director ICT NHIF. So the registration portal was developed in-house through the Ministry of Health. It was developed through an open source platform where the system was configured in-house to allow for registration. So once this has been, or once the registration is done, now it's supposed to integrate with the main system that is currently on advanced stage of procurement. So it is more of a web-based platform that was developed to allow for registration.
So, okay.
Yes.
Honorable Martin.
So, Chair, does it mean that we are having two systems running parallel here? One in-house and another one, the major one, which was existing?
The major one, they said, is being procured at an advanced stage of procurement.
I tend to think the major one was the NHIF one.
No, it's the SHA system one. So what this system entails, it's going to be in modules. So the registration module, registration portal is a module that will, once the main system has been developed, it will just integrate, plug in, so that now that data will move across the other systems.
Chair, let me ask this question. Is it interfacing now with the current system?
Let me help the officer by just referring back to my response, which I said that the Ministry of Health commenced the procurement of a digital health superhighway that is designed to automate the entire health ecosystem from registration, healthcare empanelment, healthcare service provision, up to drugs logistics. That's what the officer is saying. So the system that we're procuring is just a digital superhighway that will provide for integration of all those other systems that will be in place within the healthcare ecosystem.
Okay. Honorable Kibagende, I can see you're nodding your head.
That is excellent.
Okay.
What we are saying is, what I'm asking is this procurement of this integrated system, who is the provider? When was it issued? Where is the tender document? What is the cost? And this we've asked so many times. Can we get these details today?
Yes.
Thank you, Chair. I'll wish to, right now, we'll request we shall submit the tender documents that were submitted. We have not concluded the process. We are basically at the stage of negotiations on the contract. Once that is done, then we'll figure the amount will be known based on the negotiated contract. So we have the original tender documents that were issued, which, Chair, I want to request that we'll submit to this committee for your review.
So you will submit the advertisement for the tender, and together with the tender copies of tender documents by when?
Today, next, once we are done with the committee hearings, okay, we will submit that.
All right. What else do you want, Honorable Kibagende, to be submitted? Are those adequate?
Those are adequate.
Okay, Honorable Nikal?
Well, you may have to educate me a little bit on this, but well, what are we buying? Are we buying the hardware, the software, and then we manage it ourselves, or we are buying the service?
I think we'll look at it from the tender document that will be...
Because that is really, really key. Then,
but
okay,
you can still respond, yes. But we'll look at it also from the tender document.
Let me also ask another question we can join together. I've seen that this system will also do claims management. In the law, there was a very important issue about claims being outsourced. If it's outsourced, may. And may still allows me to say if. So if, if it is outsourced, will it still use this system? Will whoever it is outsourced still use this system?
ICT director?
I'll give both the ICT director from the ministry and the ICT director from NHIF to respond to those technical questions. But on the issue of claims, we say May, so we have not reached that stage of.
But Chair, why? If you are planning and buying a system, and within your provision, there is the word may, you must, in good management, I believe, make provision that should I use that may, this system will be. Because suppose you don't, and then you use may, then it means now you have to bring in a completely new thing. So that's why that must be taken into consideration now.
I'll give my technical officers to respond to some of those issues. Chair.
Yes, go ahead.
Thank you, Honorable Chair and Honorable Members. I would like to make a clarification on two things. First is the system that we buy. So we're buying an ecosystem called Digital Health Superhighway. It has 5 key components. One is it has the infrastructure. This is any area we have connectivity challenges, any areas we're doing local area networks, any area we need to divide devices. The second is it has what is called the HUD, which is Health Information Exchange. This is the single point of identification for every client that will be within the healthcare ecosystem. The fourth part is the claim part, which is the e-claim part, which is really to process of claims within the social health authority. The fifth one is also on the logistics, which is to manage all our logistic ecosystem within the healthcare. Now, on the claim part, I wanted to make a clarification also that we have point of services. Point of services can be where you're having the hospital management systems, where you're having any other registration modules that you really face the client. But they all read from the back end, from an ecosystem that is reading from logistics to provision of services, to provisions of drug, to identification. Now, in terms of claim, yes, it is very indicated that we will procure a system that will do automation of claim. And what is envisioned is this system will automate most of the claim. Now, there might be some specific scenarios or specific areas where the claims will also need to be rechecked or relooked at by an expert, and that is where the may will come in. And within that ecosystem, there is a part for automation of claim, and there is a part for areas where we may outsource the claims. But we envision that most of the claims, not all, but most of the claims will be automated.
No, I'm not in that area, but I'll still tell you, all those things you have said, you can actually get somebody else doing them on your behalf. Or you can actually get the hardware, all those things. When you answer, you are talking a lot about function. I agree. But there will be hardware stuff that is there, then you have the systems, then you have the staff that is running them. So for me, when I'm buying, I want to know what I'm buying. Compare this with MES. All those things were being done, but the equipment didn't belong to us, and we were paid. So we really must have a clear distinction. Sometimes not knowing everything is good.
Yes,
I'm not satisfied.
Honorable Mary Maingi, you also are not satisfied.
Thank you, Chair. No, me, I'm satisfied, but I would like to know whether this system has the payment details of members. And I'm talking about the invoicing bit. You may not invoice, but you may want to alert the customers when their payments are due for payment and stuff like that, and how much it is. Does this system have that part of the plan?
Or the ICT director. Honorable, what you wanted to?
Mine was a different question.
Then you can hold on. ICT director, you can respond now.
Thank you so much, Honorable Chair and members. Yes, it has the claims, but even more importantly, it has the patient portal. Actually, all your transaction, all your data of healthcare, you will be managing from your phone. So it also has your patient portal where you see all the transaction, you see everything that is being done within the ecosystem as a Kenyan.
Yes, Honorable Ron, you have a different question?
Yeah, I have a different question. My question is about the primary healthcare fund. You must have an estimate or a budget for primary healthcare fund. And my understanding is that that fund needs to come from Treasury. It's supposed to be an allocation. We are talking about kicking off on 1st of October. What is the budget for this fund, and do we have the money?
During the budget preparation of the Boron, we had agreed that we'll have a retreat with the SHA to discuss on the budget for the SHA, both primary health care, emergency care, and how much it requires for us to provide those services. I think, CEO, you can make a comment on that.
Thank you, Chair. Honorable members, indeed, during the budget making process, we discussed this and we said it is very important that SHA is well funded for success, and we shall liaise with the office of the plan to make sure that we have a date as early as possible so we can discuss this important budgetary issues. We have been allocated so far 4 billion for primary health care fund, but to effectively run primary health care across the country, across the year, Honorable Chair and Honorable members, we need 61.1 billion. Honorable Chair, Honorable members, we have been allocated 2 billion, but
Chair, with that response, my concern remains that we are hoping to start SHA on 1st October. We don't have any other budgeting process to raise the 61 and 40-something thousand. In other words, we will only be looking at launching social health insurance fund, which is contributory. Is that the position? The other thing that I wanted to raise, is there a possibility of starting these two other funds piecemeal in terms of piloting per county? It's an option. Just a question.
I think let's have that as a discussion, Honorable Oron. I've already ruled on it, so let's have that as a discussion. Then we can be able to look at what are the possibilities of us. The date is from 31st October, not 1st October. 31st October, when the social health insurance will be rolled around. Huh? It's fast, not 31st, no. 1st of October. Okay. So we should be able to have a meeting very soon. Your closing remarks,
Chair,
yes.
Chair, before you close,
yes.
Can I just get clarification from ICT? Because
yes.
ICT is very integral in access to care and all this we are talking about.
Yes.
But I'm not clear because right now we are having NHIF system, right? Yes. Now we are going to have a new system. And I asked before, in your transition, how are these going to interface so that no data is left out? Especially if this is a super one, the eco super one, which have infrastructure claims and all this. And you still say that most of the claims will be done by it, meaning some claims will be hard still. How is this going to work?
Yes, ICT Director.
Maybe before the ICT Director goes, I'll give to the acting CEO to give, then be supported by the technical ICT Director.
Okay.
Thank you, Honorable Chair and Honorable members. how we envision to ensure both systems are running, the Data Protection Act requires that data is held for 7 years. So the data in the NHIF system will have to remain in a format that it can be accessed and used as evidence for 7 years from when it was created. That being the case, the NHIF system will remain. Number two, there is very high likelihood that the claims incurred on 30th of September will not be paid by the 1st of October. And therefore, that system will remain to process all claims as we install the SHA system and commence new business using the new SHA system. Chair, I submit.
Chair, before
we close, okay.
Chair, there's something I would probably, in my mind, thinking. I think from that date, we should stop using the word NHIF and using NHIF system. Use old system. It will still be, it is SHA system. So because if you use the word NHIF, you seem to think you are shirking some responsibility. There's no responsibility. Just say the old system. Somebody who wants history will find out where the old system came from. That is point number one. Number two, ask this question and it sounds simple. What are you launching on that day? I was so simply sharp. But remember, in the mind of the people, let's say you call the president to launch it on Monday. Kenyans are expecting that on Tuesday, there is something they find if they go into hospitals that they were not getting yesterday. So that thing must be clear. And to me, I'm not very clear what it is. But work out so that if the president or whoever, the minister, launches it, Kenyans who go, if they do it on Monday, Kenyans who go on Tuesday can say, hii sasa ni mzuri sana. They shouldn't just find the same thing they were doing. And lastly, when you are doing about empanelment, I saw something like from the Medical Council and also NACADA. What is the role of NACADA in empanelment? In empanelment?
Yes, yes.
I'll give the chair first, and then I'll respond to the other questions.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Honorable Chair, Honorable Nikal, for your question. What we are launching on the 1st of October is the SHA benefits package. So what we envision is that on that date, people will be able to access the new benefits that we have promised Kenyans, and that's going to be enhanced over and above what the NHIF benefits package was. So at that point, we are getting a new contribution structure, and we have a new benefits package launched on that day. So that's what we envision. So anybody who goes to hospital should be able to access the benefits they had before on the NHIF benefits package and more. So that is what we are promising Kenyans.
With an aha.
On October.
Aha. It's false. Aha. Now this is me. Okay. Go ahead.
Go ahead. Yes.
I think the CEO has really answered what I wanted to say. Basically, that's what you'll be seeing. Just to highlight.
Okay.
For example, under the NHIF, previous current NHIF, the way we're operating it, if you're going for radiotherapy, NHIF used to give like 5 or 7 sessions. But now we're saying once you've been diagnosed and the doctor's prescribed that you're entitled or you're supposed to go through 15 sessions. The 15 sessions will be covered until it is concluded by the doctor that you have covered the 15 sessions. So that limitation will not be there. It is subject to what the doctor has prescribed. And that's what we call the benefit package, which will go through the national validation. And people will be able to see the difference.
So if I had saved because I knew I was only to get 7, that day I will be, let me entertain myself. That day I will say, aha, now I'm going to save all this money.
Yes.
Okay, I think it's okay. Nakada.
Nakada, yes. Chair, I wanted to say on Nakada, just we made the provision in the law clear that it shall be the competent authority.
Oh.
KPDCU are the competent authority, KPDC, sorry, are the competent authority who licenses the facilities health providers. So it is them who gives the list to Social Health Authority to empanel. So there will be no more, it's before. NHIF inspectors used to go to the facilities which have been licensed by KBDC and then go and do another inspection. We are saying it is now the competent authority to give the license and to give a report of what services they offer in that facility. Now, when it comes to NACADA, we have also incorporated a new package, the rehabilitation, okay? Where people go for, say, the drug and abuse. So those centers that have been licensed by NACADA to provide such services, then they are the ones, the competent authority, to give the list and describe what services they are offering for the purpose of empanelment. I submit, Chair.
Just as you, in your closing remarks, I would want you to give us what preparations, especially on sensitization, that you are doing towards the 1st October SHA benefits package launch. What sensitization activities you are doing?
Thank you. As I give my concluding remarks, Chair, I want to appreciate again your committee and the tracking that you've been doing in regard to the laws which you supported us in passing and how we're implementing these laws. Chair, I want to say that indeed we've made all preparations, and at the stage that we are in now is basically a rollout. And this rollout, Chair, requires that we consider sensitizing the members of the public on the benefits that will accrue to them once they are registered as their members. So we are doing sensitization for membership registration. We're also doing sensitization in terms of the benefit package that the members will be entitled. So that's why we are going to call for national validation of the tariffs and the benefit package so that all the citizens and members of the Social Health Authority will be entitled and they'll know what are their benefits in terms of this new system. So that is the sensitization part that we are going through.
And I've asked what are these sensitization activities that you are doing?
It is basically educating the members of the public through the radio, various different media stations. We'll also be visiting. We have started teaching training the community health promoters to be able to bring on board the households, notify the households of the new benefits that are entitled once they are registered members of SHA. So it's a whole ecosystem of just public participation or sensitization, as we may call it at this stage, for the full rollout. Chair, you remember, I think part of the discussion that we wanted is also to prepare the members of Parliament and specifically this committee so that they also become part of the team that will be supporting us in terms of sensitizing the members of the public the benefits of this package. So we are preparing a whole program that will entail bringing other stakeholders to support the public sensitization, and we believe the members of Parliament are key to this, because as you go to your constituency, you are always faced with the challenges of medical expenses that have been incurred by the public because of sickness and they cannot afford. So we want you to be in the forefront, because we all agreed as we are passing this law that it is going to solve one of our biggest problems of out-of-pocket expenses that we incur differently when providing or supporting our communities. Chair, that is part of this discussion that you're talking about, and you will be seeing this coming out very clearly, because once you put everything, all the systems in place, it will be all systems go. We've just started with the registration. That's why we've been telling people to register, but the other benefits now will come following our plan that we have in terms of rollout. I submit, Chair.
Thank you, Piers. I'll go back to issues about sensitization, because one of the biggest challenges is facing the courts, where we end up with people going to court to litigate that there was failure of this, and among them is issues about sensitization. For us, from where I sit as the chair of health, sensitization is actually supposed to be carried out by the ministry. For us, we do public participation.
it. I think that's enough for me.
Yeah, sure.
Thank you. Merci
Good
beaucoup.
job.
Merci. So Elias, would you be able to try it yourself, the sport climbing? You've seen me there climbing, trying to climb the wall. Because it was, let me tell you, I have a fear of heights. And when I tried to, there's a way, it comes with the technique, and it needs you to be very patient. If you're somebody who's too erratic and you want to do things quickly, it's not the sport for you, but it needs a lot of dexterity.
But I believe we have talent. Personally, I don't think I can make it at my age unless you put $1 million up the hill and then...
Even me, you put $1 million, $1 million shillings, I'll try and see if I can go to the top.
But, you know, Kakamega, we have so many rocks, you know, kids climb every day. So I think the Olympic Committee should now try and get a team together for rock climbing and also for break dancing, which are the new sports. I see a lot of kids breaking, and I can see them on the podium. If a particular, you know, concerted effort and a deliberate effort is made towards LA, Los Angeles, in the 2028 Olympic Games.
Right, we have to end it there. We are drenched, we are sweating, it's hot, but thank you so much for watching this edition of Bonjour. As always, my name is Bernard Ndong. From Mr. Elias and myself, au revoir.
Au revoir.
Bonjour, brought to you by Safaricom, a proud sponsor of Team Kenya at the Olympics.
Nidhani hiyo chapter yako na Diana ulimaliza. Sielewi mbona umsaidie kuteka mtu nyara.
Mimi siwezi kuzaa mtu mwenye roho mbaya kama wewe. Wewe na Alex mshaachana rasmi. Kwa hivyo sijui utakuwa ukikauka kama nani.
Mama, mbona unakuwa na roho mbaya hivyo kwa mama mjukuu wako?
Heri ni mlee bila mama kuliko alewe na mama mkorofi kama wewe. Akikuwa mkubwa nitamwambia mama yake alikufa kwa ajali.
Nitakupenda kwa moyo wangu wote. Mbona usisitisha mawazo ya kutaka kulipisha kisasi?
Chuki. Tumekujia pesa zile seedlings na fertilizer to deliver last time.
Hello, my name is Graham Reed. I'm the CEO of Talisi, a 400-acre mixed-use, mixed-income development located in Limuru and about 25 minutes from Westlands. Talisi will be the venue for the 4th edition of Nation Media Group's Man Cave, and we're delighted to be welcoming you here on the 3rd of August. We wish you a rewarding and productive experience at the 4th edition of Man Cave by Nation Media on the 3rd of August at Talisi.
The woman who showed up at the church. I don't believe what you said.
What does that have to do with me, Samantha?
I don't know. You tell me.
I don't understand. All you want is to file for divorce.
Once it's proven to be true, the second marriage will be invalidated.
I've been dreaming about a little girl for some time now. And it's driving me crazy. I don't know who she is.
Do you know her?
Yes, I do. I know her. And her family. Her father's my boss at the foundation. My father and her parents have been lifelong friends.
You are the one.
The beauty soaps I know don't give germ protection.
Dettol Skincare does. It combines the trusted protection of Dettol with 2 times moisturizers to protect my skin from germs and keeps my skin soft with a beautiful fragrance. Beautiful skin is germ-free skin.
When our data, a mobile money super agent, gets frantic calls to on a float through our digital solution MJK, Dada Boss can send floats to a sea of agents to keep them all afloat. Grow your biashara and unlock your horizons with our payments and collections, vehicle and asset financing, unsecured bid bonds, LPO financing, insurance, cross-border solutions, and so much more. Stanbic Bank is regulated by the Central Bank of Kenya. This is NTV.
Saa 7 juu ya alama, tarehe ni 30 mwezi Julai mwaka 2024. Karibu mtazamaji katika taarifa zetu za NTV ya dhuhuri, tukipiga darubini na kudadisi yote ambayo yanagonga vichwa vya habari katika maeneo tofauti ya humu nchini. Na moja kwa moja mtazamaji, ni kwamba muungano wa walimu wanatoa mafunzo maalum kwa wanafunzi wenye changamoto za kimaumbile nchini umetoa ilani ya kufanya mgomo muhula wao ijapo tume ya kuajiri walimu nchini TSC haitashughulikia matakwa yao kikamilifu. Na kulingana na katibu mkuu wa muungano huo James Torome, walimu wa shule spesheli hupitia changamoto si haba kushughulikia mwanafunzi mwenye mahitaji maalum, huku serikali ikikosa kusikiliza kilio chao kwa wakati. Mtazamaji, ilani hii inatolewa siku chache tu baada ya miungano ya NAT na KUPPET kutangaza mgomo mwezi Septemba ili kushinikiza serikali kuheshimu mkataba wa CBA.
Tuliofikiana nao hawajatekeleza. Muhula ujao, kama hiyo nyongeza ya walimu haijakuwekwa katika payslip zao, na wasituulize maswali, waache kutangatanga, waende watutafutie pesa. Sisi tunataka pesa. Sisi tuliona milioni 20 watu wanagonga hivi. Hiyo pesa tuwekewe kwa bank. Hiyo pesa tuwekewe. Shule hazifunguliwi. Serikali ikuwe ikijua hivyo.
Na hayo ya kijiri, wanabiashara wawili washukiwa ulanguzi wa mihadarati mjini Bungoma wametiwa mbaroni. Jacinta Nkata na Samuel Baraza wako kizuizini katika kituo cha polisi cha Bungoma. Hii ni baada ya msako wa polisi kuwapata na kilo 50 za bangi na dawa zingine za kulevya. Na haya yanajiri mtazamaji baada ya wakazi hao kuteta kuhusiana na biashara za dawa za kulevya na kudorora kwa hali ya usalama.
Polisi wamenasa kilo 15 za bangi pamoja na misokoto mikubwa 20, mifuko 74 ya kupakia, pakiti za sigara na lita 50 za kioevu cha rangi kinachodhaniwa kuwa kileo cha kulevya mjini Bungoma. Bidhaa hizi zilipatikana katika nyumba ya mshukiwa mfanyabiashara wa eneo la Kandui. Watuhumiwa waliokamatwa Jacinta Nkata na Samuel Barasa wanazuiliwa katika kituo cha polisi cha Bungoma.
Tumepata bangi ambayo mmeiona kwa picha. So tunaomba wananchi tushirikiane, wale wanauza bangi wafanye biashara nyingine tofauti. Najua wanafanya ni kwa sababu wanatafuta pesa, lakini pesa watafute kwa njia ya maana.
Haya yanajiri baada ya malalamishi ya wakazi kukithiri kuhusu ongezeko la matumizi ya dawa za kulevya. Kadhalika, waliteta kuwa desturi hii imefanya hali ya usalama eneo hilo kudorora. Mshukiwa mmoja amekiri kuwa amekuwa mfanyakazi wa kuchakata bangi.
Mimi sijui, mimi nakujanga napigiwa simu, wakuja wananiwekea kwa karai kiasi ya siku. Lakini kutoa na hiyo mambo ya wanaleta, hiyo ni siri yake, mimi sitaki.
Wananchi wamelia sana, bangi imeumiza watoto wao. Na hata tunaona kwamba bangi imemaliza watoto wetu.
Wakazi wa mtaa wa 00 wametoa wito kwa polisi kuhakikisha wote wanaohusika katika biashara ya dawa za kulevya wanachukuliwa hatua za kisheria.
Tukiachana na hiyo taarifa mtazamaji, ni kwamba mamlaka huru ya usimamizi wa polisi IPOA imeeleza kuwa imepokea ushahidi 30% katika kesi dhidi ya afisa wa polisi aliyempiga risasi mwanahabari wa Nakuru Catherine Wanjeri Kariuki. Na maafisa hao walizungumza nje ya afisi za IPOA mjini Nakuru. Hii ni baada ya kupokea barua aina ya P3 kutoka kwa Wanjeri, huku wakitaja changamoto mashahidi kujitokeza katika kufanikisha kesi dhidi ya polisi zilifikishwa mbele yao. Maafisa hao waliwarai mashahidi kujitokeza ili kuhakikisha kuwa haki inapatikana katika kesi wanazosifuatilia. Wanjeri alipigwa risasi zaraba Juni tarehe 16 alipokuwa na ripoti kuhusu maandamano ya kupinga serikali mjini Nakuru.
I want to assure Kenyans and members of the press and the media that we are on top of issues on the investigations of the harm that Wanjeri underwent, and as an organization IPOA, we sent our apology to her and we wish her quick recovery. We are finalizing on the investigations of the file. That is the tail end of the investigations. We want to thank you for facilitating and bringing her so that one of the documents we are waiting for, that is the P3 form, we have received it today and we are grateful. We are also following up with other institutions of the government, especially the police, so that can also fast track giving us some of the documents that we require to finalize our investigations.
And I'm hopeful that with the speed of only 2 weeks that they can be able to get the information, the 80%, I believe that they are going to give us the justice that we require. Not for me only, but for all the journalists, because I believe if I was attacked, it's on behalf of the other journalists who are in Nakuru and the country at large. So it's my prayer that they fast track my investigation so that I can get my justice, because this is not what I anticipated. This is not where I anticipated to be a day like today. So it will heal me in a big manner if justice was served to me. And
apart from this incident, we would want to urge the county police commander to collaborate with the agency to help them wherever they need, to give them the necessary assistance to help in the investigation, just to show a sign of goodwill that they are not interested in ruining the relationship that we've had over time.
Na mtazamaji, ni afueni kumwona hapo mwenzetu Catherine akiwa na afueni. Tunamwombea afueni ya haraka. Mahakama ya Gishugu katika kaunti ya Kirinyaga imeandaa vikao vya wazi katika vijiji na miji kwa jitihada ya kupunguza msongamano wa kesi na vile kufunza umma umuhimu mbadala wa kutatua migogoro kwa utaratibu ili kuzuia kesi ndogo kuishia mahakamani. Akizungumza katika mkutano na wakazi wa Gishugu, mkurugenzi wa mashtaka Douglas Museti amesema jambo hilo litatendeka baada ya makubaliano baina ya koti na wahusika katika kesi. Vile alisitiza kuwa hili litafanyika chini ya mwongozo wa sheria.
Encourage watu kama wanaweza ingia na maagano na sisi katika ile harakati ya kuharakisha kesi zao kotini, tuongee, tusikizane na tuta inform mlalamishi kwa ajili ya kuendesha hiyo activity ya plea bargaining, kwamba tunataka kuingia maelewano na mshtakiwa ili kesi yake ipunguzwe, ili kesi yake tuongee kuhusu the sentence, kifungo.
Na mtazamaji, jamii ya wachache kutoka kaunti ya Isiolo wamewasilisha mapendekezo yao kwa Tume ya Kitaifa ya Kutetea Haki za Binadamu KNCHR, wakilalamikia unyanyasaji wa matumizi ya ardhi na watu wageni. Kaunti ya Garissa, asasi za usalama zimeanzisha msako kutokana na ukosefu wa usalama katika eneo hilo. Mwanahabari Frido Kachi na taarifa kutoka nyanjani.
Jamii ya wachache kutoka Moyale, kaunti ya Isiolo, imewasilisha mapendekezo yao kwa Tume ya Kitaifa nchini ya Kutetea Haki za Binadamu, ambayo yatapelekea hatua kuchukuliwa kwa jamii zilizoathirika.
But as the matter trickles down now to the county level for solution, we are still waiting to see whether anything will be realized as in solving the issues of Sakuya. So the major thing that Sakuyas are suffering today is displacement.
Naibu mwenyekiti wa Tume ya Kutetea Haki za Binadamu alibainisha biashara zinazoendelezwa lazima ziwe na manufaa kwa jamii hiyo.
Baada ya kusikia wao, tutaweza kuketi chini na tuwe na ripoti ambayo tutaweza kupeana kwa taasisi ambayo inahusika, ili mambo ambayo wananchi wameweza kusema iweze kuangasiwa na suluhu iweze kupatikana.
Kaunti ya Garissa, asasi za usalama zimeanzisha operesheni inayolenga wahalifu. Kwenye operesheni hiyo, vijana 15 wenye umri wa miaka 15 hadi 20 wakikamatwa kwa kuhusika na visa vya ukosefu wa usalama.
Threatening lives and property, and it is our responsibility as those who are in charge of security in this region and in Garissa in particular.
Katika mji huo, umekumbwa na visa vya ukosefu wa usalama katika muda wa wiki 2 zilizopita, huku watu wakiuawa, kuibiwa, kuchomwa visu na maduka kuvunjwa na uhalifu, baadhi yao wakiwa na bunduki.
There are instances like the ones I was told last night whereby, criminals are released easily. I don't know what the influence will be. But when you release a criminal, tomorrow he will do another thing he can even do to your own family.
Frida Okachi, NTV.
Mtazamaji, naona pale zimekatika dakika 10 baada ya saa 7. Naendelea kutazama taarifa zetu, tunakusihi usiende mbali. Nachukua mapumziko mafupi, nitarudi na mengi zaidi.
Ever dreamt of owning a piece of Diani? Introducing Bustani Gardens by Buzzarina Holiday Homes. Located 1.5 kilometers off Lunga Lunga Road, grab yourself a prime parcel from as low as 850,000 Kenya shillings with available water, electricity, graded roads, ready title deeds and site visit at your convenience. Contact us today on 0712 110 110 or visit our offices at Morningside along Gong Road.
For 25 years, Dimkes DT Sacco has been transforming lives and empowering communities. This year, we celebrate an incredible milestone: 25 years of success, trust and growth. Dimkes DT Sacco is built on the strength of faith through the Anglican Church of Kenya, Diocese of Mount Kenya South. Join us today and unlock a world of financial opportunities, low interest rates, flexible saving plans, and smart investment options. Visit our website or call us on 0111 033 100. Dimkes DT Sacco, celebrating 25 years of financial excellence.
The moment I feel my pain starting to fade, it's like I'm going back to myself on a really good day.
Panadol Extra releases you from strong pain. Panadol, release starts here.
Kenya, twende mbele. NCBA, go for it.
Karibu tena mtazamaji, tuendelee na taarifa zetu. Wadau wakabiliana na matumizi ya dawa za kulevya huko Watamu, kaunti ya Kilifi, wameshirikiana na taasisi za masomo na washikadau wa utalii kwa lengo la kutokomeza utumizi wa dawa za kulevya eneo hilo kutumia filamu. Mwanahabari wetu kanda Pwani Fatma Bugu na taarifa hiyo kwa kina.
Suala la matumizi ya mihadarati linaendelea kuwa kero kaunti ya Kilifi, ikidaiwa kuathiri vijana wengi, hali iliyowapa washikadau mbalimbali msukumo kukabiliana nalo, wakibuni harakati za kukomesha matumizi ya mihadarati hasa kwa wanafunzi. Washikadau wa utalii, walimu na wadau wa kukabiliana na matumizi ya dawa hizo za kulevya sasa wanapania kutumia filamu halisia itakayotoa picha halisi ya athari za madawa hayo.
Because we realize that most of the times when you tell someone to stay away from drugs, they might not get the picture, but once they see the visuals of the negative effects of these drugs, then they're able to understand.
Mwanzo, we need to identify a teacher ambaye either anaweza kaanzisha hata a club to incorporate our learners, so wanaanza hizo activities za kusoma, wajue hizo drugs ambazo ziko miongoni mwao, vile zinavyoathiri na athari yake na ni jinsi gani mwanafunzi anaweza kujiepusha.
Have a program to help the drug addicted, but there was not information, and information actually is everything.
Pia watoto wa shule wataalikwa kwenye hoteli hizo ili kufahamu umuhimu wa utalii kwa jamii pamoja na kutoa nafasi za ajira.
In this way the kids, they will be able to visit the hotels and see which one has the reality in the tourism here, and give them hopes and dreams for a better future.
Ningeomba wazazi waweze kujua watoto wao wanashinda wapi, because idleness wakati mwingi inaingiza watoto wetu katika hali kama hizo.
Wazazi walishauriwa kuwa walezi wa watoto wao na kuhakikisha nidhamu kali itakayosaidia kwa kiasi kikubwa kukabiliana na tishio la dawa za kulevya eneo hilo.
According to our data, we have more than 700 people who are addicted to heroin in Watamu and its environs. This program has been initiated in order to tell children that there is no a better life to live in alcohol or in weed or in heroin, so they should stay away from drugs.
Fatma Bugu, NTV.
Toki Mombasa sasa tuangazie hili kwamba kaunti ya Bungoma ni mojawapo ya kaunti nchini Kenya iliyoratibiwa kuandikisha idadi kubwa ya visa vya dhulma ya kijinsia na kubadilisha mwonekano huo. Basi Scovia Lisa Ipalei ni inspekta wa polisi kitengo cha dhulma katika kituo cha polisi cha Bungoma, ambaye amejitwika jukumu la kuweka kipaumbele hamasa kwa wananchi jinsi ya kabiliana na uovu huo wa dhulma ya kijinsia katika jamii hiyo. Mwanahabari wetu Judith Cherono anaarifu.
Ufa kuziba ni heri kuliko kujenga ukuta, kauli aliyoishikilia Scovia, ambaye machoni mwa wengi anaonekana kuwa mama wa kawaida, ila matendo yake yamebadili nia ya wengi, haswa waliona maoni tofauti kwa utumishi wa maafisa wa polisi kwa Wakenya.
So when you're talking about gender-based violence, it's about a violence expressed on either a male, female, a man, woman, or a child. So here we're incorporating everyone. We're not only limited to one gender. So having said that, it's now the responsibility of me and you to support me to bring this outcry out so that everyone should know that something is happening. Yes, Scovia.
Scovia amejitwika jukumu la kuwapa bega waliodhulumiwa na hata kutoa mafunzo vijijini.
We forget the victim. But here today we're learning a lot. There is this post-trauma guiding and counseling. There is this close relationship with the person. This is the victim. We counsel them through. So as the case is going on through the court, we also have this other procedure of healing.
Wanaume hawajasajwa. Scovia anasimulia ugumu uliopo katika jamii kupokea kesi zinazowalenga wanaume walioathiriwa.
Men are quite reserved. They don't share what they go through unless it has reached to extreme. That's when they break down, and they don't confide usually to their same gender. They'll come to the opposite sex. So it's rarely reported from male. I can report a good number from female and children.
Men have come out openly to talk about the violence against them. So how women have become aggressive to battering their husbands. So what we are saying, nobody is safe in terms of, maybe those days we could talk about the women being the victims, but us men also have become victims. You know?
Anasema kwamba ni vyema pia kwa maafisa wa polisi kupata ushauri na saha, kwani hata wao pia hupitia msongo wa mawazo kutokana na kazi zao.
Most of the times, for us, we base on the justice of the person, the justice of the victim. We forget about the healing process. So training about 10 in a station, it will be a great opportunity for us.
Haya ni makao makuu ya kitengo cha jinsia eneo bunge la Kandui. Kesi zinazowakabili watoto huletwa hapa. Polisi nao wakihimizwa kushika doria pasi na kujilegeza kamba.
we don't have facilities where we can have those who have been rescued, because we realize once they are released, they go back, the matter is compromised, their parents are compromised, and we lose things because we've not had a period to assess these children, so, and monitoring purposes. So what we are saying, there is need to have facilities to address for safe homes for the victims of these crimes.
Gender desk, I can say my office is so small compared to other places I've worked in the gender office. The beds we're having there, for us, we put it as a rescue place, as a safe home, although it's not a safe home as we're speaking.
Visa vya dhuluma za kijinsia, ongezeko la idadi kubwa ya mimba za mapema, maambukizi ya virusi vya ukimwi miongoni mwa wasichana.
We need to target girls at young age, our boys at that young age, so that you are able now to bring a generation who respect each other.
Mwaka 2019 hadi mwaka 2023, Bungoma ilirekodi visa 989 ni kwa wasichana wenye umri wa miaka 10 hadi 17. Kuanzia Januari mwaka 2016 hadi Julai mwaka 2023, kaunti ya Bungoma ilirekodi visa 989 vya SGBV miongoni mwa wasichana wenye umri wa miaka 10 hadi 17, ikilinganishwa na visa 18,510 vilivyoripotiwa nchini kote katika kundi la umri huo. Judith Cherono, Mondi, NTV.
Karibu mtazamaji, tujitose uwanjani. Nahodha wa Malkia Strikers Triza Atuka ana uhakika kwamba Malkia hawatalegeza kamba watakapopambana na nchi ya Poland kwenye mechi yao ya pili, na Malkia walipoteza mechi yao ya kwanza dhidi ya Brazil seti 3-0, lakini wako na nafasi ya kurekebisha kuanzia saa 4 usiku.
This is our first match. It's not easy also because you haven't watched other teams play, but I think it will be better because we have now a chance to watch how they have played with their opponents. And of course now we know we are doing better on reception, so we just need to go and work on our side out, making the score.
Today reception yetu imekuwa tu sawa. Maybe kitu imerudi chini sana ni attacks zetu. But I know when we will go for training, like when we meet the next team, which is Poland, tutakuwa tumerectify hiyo makosa and we will have to go.
Na Wakenya wanne wamejishindia tiketi ya kuelekea Paris kushuhudia makala 33 ya Olimpiki baada ya kuchaguliwa kwa washindi wa mashindano ya Safaricom na Visa. Wanne hao ni Mwaniki Munuhe kutoka Nyahururu, na pia vile Abdirahman Faisal, Abdinasir Bare na Michael Chege Kariuki kutoka Nairobi. Wamelipiwa safari ya kuelekea Paris kushuhudia michezo ya Olimpiki. Mashindano ya riadha yataanza Agosti tarehe 1 na mbio ya kutembea kilomita 20. Wanne hao watakuwa na nafasi ya kujionea wanariadha wa Kenya wakati mbio ya riadha ya ugani itakao noa nanga tarehe 2, na kampuni ya Safaricom ni moja wa wadhamini wa timu ya Kenya ambayo inashiriki kwenye mashindano ya Olimpiki. Kampuni hiyo ilitoa udhamini ya milioni 30.
To see Team Kenya perform, and I'm hoping that our team will be able to bring some medals home.
You'll be accompanied with your partner, you'll have full accommodation, you will have entry to all the different events at the Olympics, and you'll also be eligible to have some fantastic tours of Paris.
Pretty much unlocked financial inclusion in Kenya, and together our converging objectives are driving digital payments for everyone, everywhere.
Nakomea hapo kwa sasa mtazamaji, katika taarifa zetu za NTV Adhuhuri. Mengi zaidi itakuwa ni mwendo wa saa 1. Ni Frida Mwaka, siku zote nitaitika na kutakia mchana mwema. Kwaheri.
This is NTV.
Can we understand an unspoken language? itaweza sema habari ya asubuhi. Can it be a way to savor each moment? Sisi tunajua it can start lifelong stories. Be the center of celebrations and so much more. The more the milk, the better the chai. Chai kweli ina Brookside Dairy Best.
I don't think you should start being friends with him. He's a stranger. We don't know if he has bad intentions.
Bad intentions, Mother? I'm telling you that he's a very interesting man.
Yes.
The kind of man that... I don't know how to say it, but... you can talk to him because you feel like you've actually known him for so many years.
Felix used to say that I provoked him and that it was my fault that he beat me up. But it was... Not until he pushed Memo down the stairs and caused him serious harm that I knew I had to escape. What is her name?
Why are you here, my love?
What is her name? What is her name?
Tell me.
You are the one.
Get ready to tantalize your taste buds and embark on a culinary journey with Pishi Bomba, the ultimate cooking show that brings the flavors of the world right into your living room. Tune in this Sunday at 6:30 p.m. with me, Claire Karatu, for a mouth-watering adventure. Pishi Bomba. Cook, eat, enjoy.
Wapwani walalamika, vizazi vinapotea. Vijana wanachizika na hawataki kuoa. Wanatafuna muguka, kazi wanazikimbia. Pwani hatutaki tena muguka na mairungi. Miraleni wenyewe na muache kutufosi. Tumevihama
kupata pwani hatutaki tena. Kama skiza tune yako, bonyeza *812 *805#.
Skiza na Nation.
Niaje Mbogichu, hii wiki kwa Shujaz TV tumewapangia.
Nakwambia tuko Kajiado in a place, tuko na culture hapa ndani ya nyumba.
Exactly, na tunasaka forms za talent, wasi wa biashara na watu wa relationships. Kaini rada.
Unajua pale utatupata kila Wednesday from 10 to 11 p.m.
Hiyo kuruka inaitwa ipit Kimasai. Kuna watu wengi saizi wa huku wako ng'ambo, wanaenda huko wanaruka, wanatengeneza a lot of money na wanakuja na pesa huko.
Hii community yetu Aldanyati, sisi wote tunafanya hii kazi. Tunafanya kwa bidii. Juni hapa ndo tegemeo. Sisi hatuna kazi nyingine.
Hapa NTV, mimi ni wenu Iviona.
Naitwa Sanchez Mali.
Na mtatuona.
NTV, turning on your world. The following program has been rated PG. It may contain scenes unsuitable for children under the age of 10.
Well, hi there. It's good to see you on another episode of Health Diary. My name is Winnie Lubembe, and we're coming to you from the Aga Khan University Hospital. Now, listen to this. Breastfeeding is one of the most effective ways to ensure child health and survival, and yet millions of children are still not exclusively breastfed for the recommended 6 months complete. So the biggest question is, what is the biggest challenge and how do we solve this? Well, we find out after this fact of the matter.
In the last 10 years,
Many countries have made significant progress to increase exclusive breastfeeding rates. However, according to the World Health Organization, more than 500 million working women are not given essential maternity protection in national laws. So to reach the global 2030 target of 70%, the barriers women and families face to achieve their breastfeeding goals must be addressed. All right, and with this year's World Breastfeeding theme being Closing the Gap, Breastfeeding Support for All. Well, let's get to understand, first of all, why it's important to exclusively breastfeed your child, but at the same time, why is it still a challenge in this day and age? And to help us understand that, we have Naomi Nyambura Mwangi, who is a lactation manager and specialist right here at Aga Khan University Hospital. Naomi, thank you so much again for your time. And we also have Tabitha Nekesa, who is a mom to a 7-month baby now, but you also have another one, right? How old is the first one?
6 years.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. 6 years. So thank you so much for your time as well to come and help us really understand the whole journey as far as breastfeeding is concerned. But Naomi, let's just start with you, right? The best practices as far as breastfeeding is concerned. I know we started the conversation on breastfeeding 101 and the ins and outs and how, but today let's get to understand then breastfeeding practices. What are the recommendations as far as breastfeeding is concerned?
As per the World Health Organization recommendation on breastfeeding, is mothers are supposed to breastfeed their children, their babies, for 6 completed months, so that they may get the good nutrients. The immunity of the baby should be good as far for the rest of their life. It can also prevent babies getting common diseases, the ear infection, diarrhea and vomiting, pneumonias, even can prevent even sudden infant death syndromes, the SIDS. Yeah.
Okay. And I want to believe most moms would want to breastfeed their children, although we also have others who choose not to breastfeed, right? But why is breastfeeding still a very big challenge, not only here in the country, but globally?
There's quite a number of things which are making mothers not to breastfeed their babies exclusively. Some of them is like, they are working mothers. They don't have time to they don't have that length of time, the 6 months, to be with their babies. And once they go back to work with a lot of stress, some they can't even express. They don't have the facility, a complete facility for a nursing mother that they may express and probably keep their milk safe in a fridge and carry it home, back home, so that they're able to prolong and succeed in 6 completed months. Others, they don't have support. They go home and they don't have a lot of support from probably the own. Because of the exhaustion and the fatigue, the milk production tend to lower or go down. Others is, in urban areas, the nutrition is not very good. Probably they may not even produce enough milk to push this baby to nurse up to 6 months. The others, they have even some myths, beliefs that in our family we don't have milk. And with such being in mom's mind, they tend not to breastfeed. They tend not to get milk because they have
decided that
they have decided
we don't have milk.
We don't have.
Okay.
So, and others is because they have challenges. Probably they have inverted nipples and flat nipples, they struggle, they get sore nipples, and it hinders the exclusive breastfeeding.
I see that, And even still on the myths, the whole aspect about my boobs will sag when I breastfeed my baby and all those things. And this year's theme, again, revolving around support. We'll look at then how support looks like for a breastfeeding mom, but later on as we continue with the conversation. But Tabitha, let's get to hear a bit about your journey as far as breastfeeding is concerned. So your baby's 7 months now. But I want us to go to the first one, if you don't mind, right? So your first baby, first time mom, were you scared? Were you concerned? What information did you have as far as breastfeeding before the baby came?
Before the baby came, I didn't have a lot of information in terms of breastfeeding. So I just assumed it's the baby coming, the milk will be there, the baby feeds, and we move on.
So the baby came, okay. Did you have milk? What was breastfeeding like for your first baby? And then we'll come back to your baby girl.
The first baby, it was very challenging.
Okay.
The baby came, I'm there with my inverted nipples.
Both?
One.
Oh, one, okay.
Yes. So at that point, you don't even know how to hold the baby, how to make sure that the nipple will come out, or rather the baby can feed well. So again, under that circumstances, you are so stressed because now the baby is trying to suck the milk out, but there is no milk coming out. It was a CS, so milk won't come out immediately. There's that time you're supposed to heal.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And like any other mom, of course, you'll be stressed because you want to feed your baby, but then there's no milk. You're trying to find. What were some of the things that you were told? I know from friends, be like, try this, try that. You do this, do that.
So I'm there in the hospital for 4 days. And then by the time we're at day 4, the baby's still not getting enough milk. So I got an advice we get discharged. So we got discharged, went to some family doctor because the baby had also developed an infection. You see now they are dehydrated. So the family doctor told us to, I remember him touching the baby's skin like this and was like, this one I'm not even going to deal with him. Just rush to KNH. So we went to KNH. And that is where we got the help, And I remember those nurses were like, Mama utatoa maziwa, you know? Yes. So I was given a syringe. I was told, regardless of how you're going to do it, what you want is milk for this baby. There's no formula. So I was there with my syringe trying to milk, manually, applying a remis and milking, just like the way you do for a cow at home. Yes. And God is faithful. In 5 days, we were discharged. The infection had cleared, and there was milk for the baby.
And Naomi, can we address the inverted nipple, aspect of the same? One would wonder what causes it, and then I think you can tie that with the whole aspect of there is no milk. And what are some of the common causes for the same? I know you talked about earlier on sometimes our mindset. We tell ourselves we don't have milk and then that's it, right? But what are some of the other, causes for the same? But can we address the inverted nipple first?
Inverted nipples, one was born with the nipples inverted. It's not that something they did. There are so many gadgets out there which can assist a mother to still breastfeed her baby. And they only need to understand that it's the milk production, the way it is and where the milk is not on the nipple, it is under the areola. So long as the baby attaches very well, have a deep latch and goes to the areola, start suckling, the nipple kind of come out once there is that compression of the areola. And as baby continue nursing, within a week, 2 weeks, the nipple comes out. What makes the mothers, when they give birth immediately and they take a couple of days not to have milk, it's not about they do not have milk, because milk was formed as early as 28 weeks. So what happens is about the mom's mind. It's more of psychology.
All right.
Probably she has trauma of the labor she has undergone, or and she did not have a successful delivery. She ended up with a C-section. And others is probably is a social problem.
Okay.
Probably this is a mother who has been abandoned. You know, having something which is disturbing mom's mind.
Some level of stress.
Yes.
Yeah.
Stress of any kind or anxiety. Plus poor hydration.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Is that why new moms are told, yeah, take a lot of water, kunywa uji, chocolate, whatever form of liquid to at least stay hydrated?
Yes.
Well, okay, all right, I see that. So let's take a break, but when we come back, we'd want to understand. So in instances where, I mean, suddenly the mom passes on during delivery, right? And clearly the baby, you know, is not able to be breastfed, then what are the options for the same? Is there an option for like milk donation, if that's the thing? And what is that process like? And Tabitha would also want to understand. So having gone through, you know, a bit of challenge, you know, with your first baby's fast breastfeeding and getting enough supply, how is it with the second baby? Were you able to exclusively breastfeed? And all that is coming up after the break. Stay with us. The show is Health Diary.
Want to know the biggest story of the week? Do not worry. The Weekly Review got you covered. For in-depth analysis of politics, business, governance, as well as social issues, the Weekly Review covers it all. For well-researched, exclusive and investigative content, read the Weekly Review every Sunday in the Sunday Nation.
Gentlemen, I want you to diarize the date, the 3rd of August 2024. Men are going to be meeting at Tilisi in Limuru. What shall we discuss? All the things that affect men. We're going to focus on our own personal development as men, professionally, business-wise, and most important, as good men. But also, we have to consider our families. An important dimension of our lives is the fact that we've got to bring up the next generation in close collaboration with our wives. We're going to discuss some of these issues, perhaps their challenges, perhaps the issues we face. We're going to share ideas, and by the time we leave that place, we will be better men who will make our mark in the world and leave our legacies as great men who lived. Join us at Tilisi on the 3rd of August. Thank you.
The woman who showed up at the church. I don't believe what you said.
What does that have to do with me, Samantha?
I don't know. You tell me. I don't understand. All you want is to file for divorce.
Once it's proven to be true, the second marriage will be invalidated.
I've been dreaming about a little girl for some time now, and it's driving me crazy. I don't know who she is.
Do you know her?
Yes, I do. I know her. And her family. Her father's my boss at the foundation. My father and her parents have been lifelong friends.
You are the one.
The beauty soaps I know don't give germ protection.
Dettol Skincare does. It combines the trusted protection of Dettol with 2 times moisturizers to protect my skin from germs and keeps my skin soft with a beautiful fragrance. Beautiful skin is germ-free skin.
All right, welcome back. The show is Health Diary. And just in case you are tuning in right now, today our focus is on breastfeeding, understanding the challenges, but also the advantages of breastfeeding, but also finding solutions to the same. And to help us with the conversation, we have Naomi Nyambura Mwangi, who is a lactation manager and specialist right here at Aga Khan University Hospital. And we also have Tabitha Kesa, who is sharing her breastfeeding journey. And like we said, it's recommended, and this is a WHO recommendation, that the baby has to be exclusively breastfed for 6 months complete. Naomi says that 6 months complete, but the reality is this is not always achieved. All right, and what are some of the solutions that are available so that to ensure as many children are exclusively breastfed, at least for the first 6 months as possible? So Naomi, I mean, some moms will say, yes, I want to breastfeed my baby, but then I also have to go back to work because at the moment we only have 3 months paid maternity leave. We might have some bit of flexi hours here and there, but I don't know how that is for different people. How big of a challenge is this? The fact that the mom does not have 6 months to exclusively breastfeed the baby.
Some of them, even if we encourage them in the hospital to express and freeze the milk, there's still quite a number of people who do not have even the facilities like the fridge. Some, they don't have even electricity to store this milk. Expressing milk when the first 3 months, when the production is high and the consumer, who is the baby, is so small, is not emptying the mom's breast, is advisable for the mother to express for those who have the facilities and freeze this milk. And it can be frozen for 6 completed months.
All right.
Frozen, and it will be safe, and with the nutrients and the antibodies will not change. But we still have even mothers who, even if they, because if they didn't have enough to push the baby up to 6 months, they should actually have a facility where they can express and at the place of work. Probably they don't have that time. It's still a challenge. When they go back to work, they'll work, working hours are too tough for them. They are working 8-hour shift, and they don't have time to go and express. Others is they don't have the support even at the place of work. They are threatened even by the employers that they would need someone who is productive. So sometimes it is becoming a challenge to working mothers because of, you don't want to lose the job, you still want to continue the job, and they still have only 3 months to as a maternity leave.
So Tabitha, second baby girl, 7 months now. How has that journey been like for you? First of all, do you have enough milk supply?
Yes.
Okay.
This time round, yes. It's been an amazing journey compared to the first one. I've been able to breastfeed exclusively for 6 months. By the time I was coming back to work, I had enough stock in the freezer for the baby that could last her up to 6 months. And even when I resumed work, I could still get time to go and express.
So what are some of the things that you had to do just to make sure that your baby is well taken care of, much as you are working?
Okay, so before I leave the house, I would make sure that I've breastfed her in the morning.
All right.
And then whatever I had frozen that she's supposed to take during the day, I would defrost, of course, in water, cold water, not in warm water, so that now I'm able to return it to the fridge.
So there's the whole aspect of, has the baby had enough? How do you know that the baby is full? Do you wake up the baby when they're asleep to feed them and all those things? Can we just understand this whole dynamic so that they're not just breastfeeding, but also adequately being breastfed?
Okay. Children are allowed to feed on demand.
Okay.
anytime they want. Or every 3 hours. You don't go beyond the 3 hours, especially the first 1 month. You wake the baby up and put on the breast. On the breast, once the milk, by the second week, the flow is so good that you can hear the baby even swallowing. You can hear the girl while the baby is swallowing. The other thing which will guide you is the way they are urinating. The urine keep on increasing in amount and frequency. By day 7, we need to start feeling the diapers have some weight.
And even during the breastfeeding, whole process, so we see some moms that would put the baby on one breast and just let them, breastfeed on that one breast. Some would express while the baby is breastfeeding, others might wait after the baby is full. And some would interchange as the baby breastfeeds. So what is that technique?
The first 1 month, we keep on emphasizing babies to be fed longer time. Longer time because they sleep very fast on the breast. They are too sleepy. Once the milk mature and it is white, the first 10 minutes, we call it foremilk. It's very watery. It's more of to quench the thirst. And have calories too. Make this baby move on to eat the food. The first 1 month, babies tend to nurse longer, but I can tell you they change because they grow every day. Probably by the second month, most of them, they can still empty breast, the fore and the hide milk, which is thicker, which is like food, within 10-15 minutes. They keep on changing the way they eat. They are eating. If the other breast baby was not able to close to the other breast and nurse the other breast, that is when we encourage mothers, if you have the facilities, you have the equipment, the breast pumps and the storage bags and the fridge, you should express and start freezing it. But we discourage expressing before the baby nurses, because you can have a baby who will nurse one breast, you bub and nurse the other breast. But once they start with this one, they finish with this one, you bub and they sleep. When they wake up, you always start with the last breast, because there is more likely baby never cleared the hide milk. And we don't want the breast to that milk, because it is thicker, to clog in the ducts and they mother suffer from mastitis.
I like that. Very interesting. All right, so we need to end the show, unfortunately. I know time is not on our side. There's so much to discuss still. But Nekesa, let me start with you for your parting shot. So we have the Employment Act and we have the Health Act, right? Where this whole maternity and then the lactation room and, all the kind of support that a mom gets from the employer. So what is that one thing as a mom who's gone through, this whole exclusive breastfeeding journey, wish will be done different?
I would encourage employers to support mothers. And how do you support mothers? At least allow that flexi working. The lactation facilities, make sure they're in the premises, and a good medical cover so that, mothers can be able to access good facilities.
I see that. Again, Kenya now, we are sort of yet to attain, the global recommended targets of exclusive breastfeeding, and this is of around 70%, right? So then how do we get there? What are some of the steps that, and I'm saying we, all of us, from individuals to families to communities to even the country?
I know for the mothers who are working from home or mothers who are with their children at home, they stay home mothers, the chances of breastfeeding their babies exclusively are almost 100%. That's what I have seen. But the mothers who are working, they still need support. If this exclusive breastfeeding has to be successful, I think we should actually give these mothers a longer time to stay with their babies. It is very successful if the mother is with the baby. So I would urge, if this lactation period should be, mother should be given the 6 months, it will be very successful.
But ideally, we hope that's one of the things, one of the policies that we at some point implemented in the country, so that we ensure as many babies are exclusively breastfed for at least the first 6 months of their lives. Well, allow us to say thank you to both of you, Tabitha Nekesa and Naomi Nyambura Mwangi, who's a lactation manager and specialist right here at Aga Khan University Hospital, for your time today, and time now for you to take a look at this health tip.
Most kids with Down syndrome sometimes can have delayed milestones, depending on how severe the condition is. So for those with delayed milestones, we work to fasten the milestones to ensure they lead at least a normal life. Hi, how are you? Soft tissue massage is done, or we also do soft tissue massage to help relax their body in times when they're not really cooperating. Yeah.
Well, with different countries having provisions to protect breastfeeding rights of women laid out, the biggest question is, how do we achieve the implementation of the same? And that is what many countries are striving towards. Well, we'll have to end the conversation here today on Health Diary. My name is Winnie Lubembe, and a special thanks to the Aga Khan University Hospital for hosting us today. If you have any other question, our social media handles are down at the bottom of your screen. Until next time, adios. Of who? Of women. With the provisions to protect exclusive. Mambo, sorry. With
Are you curious about that dazzling look? How do you define beauty? And how to dress elegant, glitz, and glamorous? The Glam Show is here to answer all those questions and show you what's popping and what's the latest in the beauty and lifestyle world, because you need it. Look your best and fall in love with Into the Glam, only on NTV.
The Glam, brought to you by new Nivea Radiant and Beauty Advanced Care Body Lotion.
With 5 oils and 5 vitamins, 48-hour nourishment. Helps reduce appearance of stretch marks in just 2 weeks. New Nivea Radiant and Beauty Advanced Care, for your shade of beautiful.
Sisi ndio wale watoto wa Mungu, kitugusa tapigwa na Mungu, na tulipokatuweka Mungu, imboni ya jicho lake huyu Mungu. Sisi ndio wale twapendwa na Mungu.
To get Sisi ndio wale as your skiza tune, dial *812 802#.
Skiza na Nation.
Nidhani hiyo chapter yako na Diana ulimaliza. Sielewi mbona umsaidie kuteka mtu nyara.
Mimi siwezi kuzaa mtu mwenye roho mbaya kama wewe. Wewe na Alex mshaachana rasmi. Kwa hivyo sijui utakuwa ukikauka kama nani.
Mama, mbona unakuwa na roho mbaya hivyo kwa mama mjukuu wako?
Heri ni mlee bila mama kuliko alewe na mama mkorofi kama wewe. Akikuwa mkubwa nitamwambia mama yake alikufa kwa ajali.
Nitakupenda kwa moyo wangu wote. Mbona usisitisha mawazo ya kutaka kulipisha kisasi?
Chuki.
Tumekujia pesa zile seedlings na fertilizer to deliver last time.
NTV, turning on your world. The following program has been rated PG. It may contain scenes unsuitable for children under the age of 10.